A hunter walks from one forest on a bearing 80 degrees to another forest B, which is 40 kilometers away. From there, he went into another forest C, a distance of 50 kilometers on a bearing 220 degrees. What was he looking for? He was looking for an antelope. He shot. Right? Now, we're asked to calculate, number one, the distance of C from A. That is the distance of the last forest from the first forest. And we have to calculate to the nearest kilometer. Number two, the bearing of C from A to the nearest degree. So solution, it works from forest A. So this is forest A. So forest A is the starting point because it walks from forest A. Now, it walks from forest A to forest B on a bearing 80 degrees. So 80 degrees will be between 0 and 90 degrees, so somewhere here. Okay. So this will be forest B, right? At its own north degree, right? So this is 80 degrees. Two north poles, the north poles between two points are parallel. So if this is 80 degrees, this will also be 80 degrees, right? Alternate angles. Now, we're then told that, so this is 40 kilometers away, right? A is 40 kilometers away from B. From point B now, from forest B, it went into another forest C, a distance of 50 kilometers on a bearing 220 degrees. So 220 degrees will be from this point. This is 180, so 220 will be around this point, right? Between 180 and 270. So which means this will be point C. All right, so this will be point C, which is 50 kilometers apart. This is point C. Now, we're asked to find the distance of C from A, that is this part. So this is it. This is a triangle given. So this is our point C, with its north pole. Now, from this point to this point is 80 degrees, right? And we need to find from this point to this point. So this is 220 degrees, right? If this is 220 degrees, from this point to this point is 80 degrees. Now, if this is 80 degrees, right? Remember, from this point straight up to this point is 180 degrees, right? And from this point to this point is 80. We can get from this point to this point. That will be 180 minus 80, which is 100 degrees, right? So this point, from this point to this point is 100 degrees. And then if from this point to this point is 100 degrees, we can get from this point straight up to this point, right? This is 100. From this point to this point will be 260 degrees because the complete point is 360s. So if from this point to this point now is 260 degrees, from this point to this point is 220 degrees, we can then find from this point to this point, right? That is this angle in the triangle, right? And this angle in the triangle will be 260 minus 220 degrees, because from this point to this point is 260. From this point to this point is 220. So this small part will be taking away 220 from this 260, and that is 40 degrees. So this angle here will be 40 degrees. Right. So we have this angle and we have the two surrounding sides, right? Which means we have to use cosine rule. When you have two sides given, and the angle in between them, we make use of cosine rule, right? And then to find this angle. So if this is angle B, then this is side B. If this is angle A, then this is side A. If this is angle C, then this is side C, right? So we want to look for side B now. So find side B, right? We say using cosine rule, we say B squared will equal A squared plus C squared minus 2AC cos B now. Now, our A is 50 kilometers, right? And then C is 40 kilometers. And then angle B is equal 40 degrees. So we can find our B square. B square is equal, we have A is 50 squared plus C is 40 squared minus 250, 40 cos angle B is 40 degrees. So that B square will equal 50 square is 2500. That's 2500. 40 square is 1600. Now, 2 times 50 is 100. 100 times 40 is 4000. Now, 4000 cos 40 is 3064.1778 approximately. So this will give us, we have our B squared will equal 2500 plus 1600 is 4100 minus 3064.1778 is 1035.8222. So that our B, we take the square root of both sides to get B. This will be B equal the square root of 1035.8222. So B equals 32.18419, right? Let's stop here. However, we're asked to leave our answer to the nearest kilometer. So it means our B is approximately 32 kilometers. Now, I left this like this for purpose of calculation in finding our second question. So we're asked to find the bearing of C from A. The bearing of C now from A to the nearest degrees. Now, which means the bearing of C from A will start from the North Pole and end on the line C, which is to this point, right? Which means we need to find the bearing from this point to this point. From this point to this point is already 80 degrees, right? Now, we need to find from this point to this point, which is this angle A. Now, to find angle A, we make use of sine rule, right? So we already have side A. Sine rule says side A over sine A will equal side B over sine B, which is also equal side C over sine of angle C. Now, we can use any two. We already have, we are looking for angle A. We already got angle B, side B. So with me, we have side A to be 50 kilometers. We already found our side B to be 32 points, all those things we got. And then we have angle B is 40 degrees. So we can then find our angle A using sine rule, right? So let's get that done. So we know that A is equal 50 kilometers. B is equal 32.18419. Now, you see, if we use the approximated value, the more approximation, the more error you get in your answer. So the less you approximate, the less error you get in your answer. So it's better for us to use the less approximated value for our calculation, right? So, and then we have angle B to equal 40 degrees. And then we are looking for angle A. So we can use A over sine A equal B over sine B. So that we'll have 50 over sine A, which is what we are looking for, equal, our B is 32.18419 over sine B is 40. So that if we cross multiply, we would get 32.18419 sine A equals 50 sine 40. So that if you divide both sides but by 32.18419, we'll get sine A. So that our sine A is now equal. Now, 50 sine 40 is 32.13938 all over now 32.18419. That will give us, so we have 32.13938 divided by 32.18419. That gives us 0.9986. So we have sine A equal 0.9986. So that our A will equal the inverse of sine 0.9986. So that will give us 0.9986. That gives us A is equal 86.9678. However, we were told to leave our answer in the nearest degree, so our A will equal 87 degrees. Approximated. It's approximate 87 degrees. Now, we come back to our bearing, right? Because what we are told to find is the bearing of C from A. So this angle now is 87 degrees, right? But then we need to find the bearing of A. The bearing of A is from the North Pole up to this point, which is 80 plus 87. So we then say that our bearing, the bearing of A, is equal 80 plus 87. which gives us 167 degrees. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and share so that other students can benefit from this video. If this is your first time of coming across my page, thank you. Do well to subscribe and click the notification button so I can be notified when we drop videos. We drop videos like this every day of every week. See you in the next class. Bye for now.